Right, we're live now, though.
Shit, boy.
Yeah, we're live now.
Yeah, buddy.
Where are we?
Oh, man.
No, we've got 4 watching so far. Here we go.
Here
Here
he is.
Mr. President, down Earthquake. How you doing, mate?
How you doing?
How's
Yeah,
it going,
good.
Dan?
What's that?
What? Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know they did.
How you
I
been?
heard,
You
him, I heard him mumble something, but I didn't catch what it was.
all right?
Oh, shit. I said, you're right, Dan.
Yeah.
Good man. Good man. You recovered after the weekend.
I just jarred my wrist shoveling a load of concrete today. You know when you shovel in and you just hit something hard?
Yeah.
It fucking hurt all fucking day now.
No.
But, yeah, that was all right.
That's
Had a good time, didn't we?
Yeah, mate. Good weekend.
Yeah, I'd cut it short, obviously. Fucking get back for the dog, but
Yeah, I understand it. I'm trying. I've been thinking of how to make the whole thing go smoother, and this is why I wanted to talk to you both, really, because you know it's good to talk to intelligent people and thick people, and just try and get everybody's opinion, you know, and work the way for everybody. What I want to do is examine the double elimination. We're never going to get rid of that in nationals and things like that because it's the most effective way of finding the winner quickly. But when we're trying to develop people and when we're trying to get as many bits of progression going on, why do we do it? Why do we do it? Tell me.
That's it. Well, the Warzone seems to work best for the progression of people, doesn't it? Because obviously they're getting more chance to wrestle and stuff. So it does make sense in what you're doing.
What I'm thinking is, you see, at regional competitions, because you never know who's turning up. I don't really want people to, unless they're just practicing, to cut weight, because you think, Jason, if you're about 82, aren't you? 82.
Yeah.
If I was to run a 78 kilo class, and you think, yeah, I like the look of that tournament, you cut weight for 6 weeks, you do all this stuff, you torture yourself, and then it pisses down with rain on the day. There's something else going on somewhere, and 6 people turn up or 3 people turn up, and we say, we're going to combine it with the class above. Straight away, you feel like you've just wasted your fucking life, haven't you?
Yeah, that's it.
And also, if you're somebody who's, if I said this to a young chap the other week about supporting arm wrestling, I turn up an awful lot of time and don't win fucking anything, but I kind of feel I support arm wrestling because if there's a competition going on that I'm going to go in, I'm not looking at whether I'm going to win it or whether I'm going to do badly. I want to be in it and I want to pull. So if you're the winner, if you're the winner and there's 3 people that you beat, if you're the winner and there's 10 people that you beat, those other 9 that turned up supported you, didn't they? They were trying to beat you, but you're supporting by doing it.
That's it, by showing up, putting in the effort. That's it, mate.
But if you're travelling around for a year and you don't get a pin, and I did that for 2 years. I did 2 years without a pin. You got to be obsessed, mentally retarded, or something to just keep going. Because most people just give up, don't they? A lot of people. We see a lot of turnover. But with a war zone, you get. I saw there was a couple of lads who were a bit nervous at first, and by the time we got to the end, they were right in it. They caught a couple of pins. They had a couple of good matches, and I saw you, Jason, a couple of times, and Tom and a few other people. You knew they weren't going to do anything, so you give them a bit of rope. You let them have a bit of a pull over, and because you're not losing anything either. You're not going to suddenly get surprised. If you do, you're not out, are you? On a double elimination, suddenly you're out. So what my suggestion is, and somebody's Ollie Williams made a good suggestion, which I like the idea of, and I've tweaked it a bit. So we weigh everybody in like we would for the war zone and the pros and the thing everywhere. But you do the weigh in. Boots, you're weighing in your boots and your normal clothes, what you're going to pull in. Nobody strips down. You just, that's what your weight's going to be. And we work out then who we've got. When we get into doing the splitting up the left and the right, you divide it into your light, middle, and heavy. Yeah. But you start off with the 2 lightest novices. So let's just put some names in. Connor Zagotti goes against Jacob Borton, who turned up. So, 57 kilos, 60-something kilos. One of them's going to win. So straight away, the 2 lightest guys in the competition who are the newest, one of them's got a win. He's got his first pin at a competition. Then you get the next lightest bloke on, and you go through the novices until you end up with Morgan Hennessy, who was 142 kilo, who was there on the weekend. Now, when he come on, he's the last of the novices. We then put him against the heaviest of the pros, and that might be Mindaugas Dauskas. But Mindaugas isn't going to kill him because he's never seen him before, and he knows this is a new lad. We've given him a bit of a briefing at the start. Yeah, we've got some new people in it. We're trying to give him all progression. So he gives him a bit of rope, but he's still going to pin, isn't he? He's still going to get his 10 pins. Yeah. And the likes of Tom and yourself, well, not you, because I fucking give you a run for your money on Saturday, but yeah, the good uns are going to get...
I thought you thought about our match day. You said I was giving a bit of leeway in there. I'll give you some rope, mate.
Yeah, sure you did. How's your thumb? Is it all right?
My thumb's fine, mate.
But you see, you're still going to get Mindaugas and Tom and James Wall in that final. So the top 6 guys are going to get in that final, aren't they?
Yeah.
Now, if they got to go out to feed the dog and make the cocoa, like it happened on Saturday, then we looked down the list and it ended up Anil was the next one in, and then it was a tie between Morgan and me. And I said to Morgan, well, you go, because you ain't ever done this before. But Anil said, I'd rather just save it for the right and not do the left. So I went in it. So straight away, because of circumstances, there's a few people got into the final that wouldn't normally get in the final. But we got the system of the count back just to see, well, here, he got 5 pins, he got 6, he got 8. Right, there you go, you're in. So it's very simple and quick to administer.
Yeah.
And then because I'd record it in a different way, I've been working out to do this, because I'd code the lightweight novices, the lightweight pros, and so on at the start. When we've done the tally on the piece of paper, the break would be then I'll just have a quick count up, and then I can write out the certificate. So because like you pair didn't know, you went home, but at the end of it, you'd still got the most amount of pins for the fact that you was in the middleweights. Yeah. So there's a gold medal for Tom and there's a silver medal for Jason because you pinned enough people to be the best in your class. Now, if you'd been in the final, you could have won it. You might have got a higher, but it doesn't matter because Mark Walden went home because he had a load of you with fucking dogs. You know, he had to go home and feed his dog, but he still got in the heavyweights the most amount of pins. And it was impossible because he got the 10 to qualify. Morgan and I had 5 and he got 2 and I got 1. So Mark is still the gold medal for that. Do you see how it means? So we're still giving out the same amount of medals.
Yeah, that's it. You're just working it out in a different way.
And to get to the final, there was 164 matches.
Fuck, you know.
I was going to say, what the majority of Mark Walden's?
Sorry, go on.
Say Mark Walden. What if the majority of his wins, if he got the most wins in the heavyweight class, but the majority of the wins were against like 75 kilo, 60 kilo guys?
Is it irrelevant?
Would he still get awarded that first place for the heavyweight?
Yeah, because it could have been anybody. It could have been anybody.
Randomised, didn't it? Yeah.
Because the thing is as well, and this has happened with Connor Sale. Connor Sale, when he was in the war zone in Scotland, he was the lightest guy. I think he was the lightest guy, and he got in the final. So all of his wins were against heavier people.
Yeah.
Now he got in the final, and at that point, I didn't have this other system. So he come. I think he was a 3rd, 4th, or 5th. I can't remember what it was. But really, he should have had a gold medal because he did the best of all the lightweight guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's taken me a year to tweak the system and try and work it out. The delay came on Saturday because I had always with a double elimination, you've always got buys. You've always got something. And I've got the templates working very well. But somebody comes and says, I'm dropping out. Or I need to be back in. Or is it all right to put me in? And while I'm doing that, I made a mistake which corrupted some of the data. And I thought I'd lost the results. So I had to go through what I had. And because I'd written out certificates as I went along to get the places and make sure I'd got the right stuff. And that's what the delay was. And there's always something like that because it takes quite a bit of thought to do it, but everybody's around you like a swarm of bees. And it's and I realise it's important to them. They want to know, did I come 9th or 15th? Or, can you tell me what time? One bloke come up to me and he's a mate of mine, but he said, the wife's just called. She's asked me what time I should put the dinner on. I don't fucking know. I'm trying to fucking run a tournament. How long is it going to finish? And my answer is always, well, it's 2 minutes later now because I'm talking to you and I've burnt my concentration. And what I'm doing is important. And all the people that really want to stay and not go home early are put back 2 or 3 minutes by everybody who comes up and says, oh, can I just ask this? And I understand people want to ask things, but do you see what I mean? The actual logistics of trying to run it. And I could do away with all that if we just said, this been the novice double elimination.
Yeah. The only thing is, I'd say, Dan, is obviously what happens next time if you get 60 people in. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's getting a bit bigger and bigger as it goes on now. Like everyone's like liking the thing of the war zone and that. But if there's 60 people, are you thinking about splitting it so then it runs off 2 tables? So then it doesn't.
We could, couldn't we? We could.
Yeah.
We could have 2 tables running with half of them in one and half of them in the other.
Yeah.
And 3 from each table get to go in the final.
Yeah.
That could work.
That would work then, would it?
I think so.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's still random draw on who's on table 1.
I mean, being as the fact that you're working off a list, and let's just say, Tom, you're 13th on the list and Jason, you're 25th.
No, second.
Then, but I'm in the order of playing. Yeah, I'm not talking about the.
I'm joking. Yeah, go on.
But so you could still run the one list, but you've got the 2 tables running, and that makes an extra random thing because again you're working down the list. But if Tom's on the table against Craig Sanders, and Jason's the next one, well, the table 2 comes through, you're on that one, so you've skipped. Yeah. You don't know where you're going to go.
Yeah, because this is the question I asked someone on the weekend, and somebody said, "Oh yeah, well you can't run it off 2 tables because obviously it's winner stays on, isn't it?" So
yeah, but the winner stays on for 4, but that doesn't mean to say that somebody else down the list could not be. Yeah. It's just who's the next person. Where do you stick them? You stick them in the next available slot.
Yeah, that's true then. So you could do that. So all you'd have to do is wait for the first person to win 4, and then you could add on another table. Does that make sense?
The first yeah, that's it. The first person, or you start number 1 against number 2 and number 3 against number 4 on the 2 tables, and then you carry on.
Yeah.
But I realise that could be quite confusing as well.
Yeah,
for me, I mean, I'm trying not to confuse myself. I'm trying to make it a bit easier for myself, let alone.
That's it. I'm just thinking, because obviously these things now, every war zone seems to be getting more and more people. You know what I mean? So obviously, when it does start reaching like your 60s, your 70s, and stuff like that, and obviously, if it was like Saturday, it would be a bloody 1 a.m. finish, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, but you see, the other thing you can do is you can reduce it. You can say it's going to be 9 to get in the pot. 9 pins.
Oh, yeah.
And what we did on the right hand after you'd gone, and again, I could see the clock ticking on. They were telling me they were going to close the bar and they were wanting to start kicking us out because they could think we were going to go for the night. So we got the first 3 got. This is what you could do as well if you had a big number. Your first 3 men in the final get the 10 pins, and as soon as that 3rd man gets his 10th pin, you do a count back 4, 5, and 6. Who's got 9 pins? Who's got 8 pins? 7? You see what I mean? Because sometimes it takes a hell of a lot of rounds to run through that.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I was sort of lucky though, because obviously I was stuck on like 6 pins, wasn't I? And then sort of.
I don't remember you. I remember you being stuck on 2 when I was on 3. I do remember that. I don't remember the other bit.
You kept reminding me, mate. Yeah, you kept reminding me. But yeah, it's one of them ones. So it's sort of like. Obviously, in that sort of situation, because my draw kept like going down to like near the bottom on the randomizer. Yeah, you know what I mean. So again, it's all down to the randomizer, isn't it? Like,
it is. Now, here's a funny thing again on the random. It worked out on the one I think was for the right, but Hamza needed. There was one bloke needed 1 pin. It might have been Hamza. It might have been somebody Daffyd. I think it was Daffyd needed 1 pin. He had 9, but. Yeah. He got drawn then to be at the bottom, and of course Marin Tabaku was above him and someone else was above him, and it looked absolutely impossible that Hamza or Daffyd were going to get their go. But then, you've only got to make a mistake or something happened, and then it came. It didn't run as expected, even right on the last round. When you looked at it, we got 3 guys here. Those 2 are going to get in it. He's got no chance, and actually. It didn't work out like that at all. So, yeah, I've realise you can't make it fair for everybody. There's always a buy. There's always a circumstance.
Yeah,
but what you can do is you can make it worthwhile for people if it's progressive. And the big problem I see for the tournament templates, so however you do them, and Tom, you'll remember when you did the Super 12. Do you remember the Super 12 you did?
Yeah.
12 is the most awkward number to work with because two people, unless you're doing 8, 16 or 32, there's always people that are getting advantages in the tournament and people who aren't getting advantages.
Yeah.
And that runs off the first randomization. If you're one of the guys who got the bye, then you're laughing. If you're not,
definitely.
one bloke has pulled twice before the other one's pulled once at all. And the way the breasts go, you might have just had a hard match on the A side, you get knocked onto the B side by the eventual winner, and then another bloke who's on the B side, you're on straight away with him. They say 1 minute's rest because that's the way it works. Because all these double elimination things, there's a certain point where I tried over the last year to try and make the order fairer. But all you do is you give yourself other problems later on.
Yeah.
And it's really hard, and the most people use these brackets that are off the online. But the very first tournament I did, which was at the this is my introduction into how a tournament works. I never knew. The first one I ever run was the bloody Pro Nationals at the Sailing Club, and we had 120 people turn up. And I didn't even know how the system worked, but it was like driving a car when you're downhill with no brakes. How does this work?
That's it.
And it kind of worked, but there was problems. And the computer kept crashing, adverts kept popping up on the screen. Because if you're relying on a web link, everybody's got the phone now and they're trying to stream stuff. Yeah. So, and that's why I thought, well, I've got to try and find something that's offline. I couldn't find anything that works properly. So I built one. And it's taken all this time to get round to something that's workable, but it still takes time. And the problem is if you get an input error by me or one of my assistants, who are all good-hearted people, but you get a mistake happen, and at the weekend all the mistakes were mine. I can't blame anybody else in it, but it just takes time. And I get frustrated because I want it to go smoothly. And when we actually doing the tournaments, it went smoothly. I lost an hour and a half or so through fucking around trying to get things to work that. I just made an error, and
shit happens, doesn't it?
And of course, if you're sitting in a quiet room like you are in the evening, oh yeah, that's it. But I've never got that quiet 5 minutes because there's always something that demands your attention.
That's it.
So
just to let everyone know, man, when's the next Warzone then?
It's the 13th of April, and it's Swindon.
Swindon. Where's that being held at?
It's the Supermarine Football Club.
Lovely.
I've got the details on the thing. I'll have a quick. I'm not clever.
It's already
enough.
Posted on the PAA website, though, isn't it?
The address is on there. But I'm thinking, and again, I spoke to Paul. Paul put a poll up last night about do people like the Warzone, and 93% said yes. I don't know how many people you got watching now, but it's just
It's a building platform, isn't it? Really, like you said, because people are not just getting the 2 pins and out. You know what I mean? So it's.
I think over a year or two, we might keep more people than losing them, because if they turn up and they can get 7 or 8 goes on each arm against random people and get their first pin, like I said, if you got the 2 lightest novices starting, one of them's going to get a win. Whereas if you put them in an under 80 kilo class and they're 57 or 62 kilo, are they ever going to get a win until they're really good?
Yeah, I see. It's definitely better for the development of the UK arm wrestlers as well, isn't it? Because like you said, they're all getting a better chance and they're all pulling more people as well. They're not just pulling like 2 people going out. They're getting a chance to pull 5 different people, and then they're thinking about 5 different people that they have to try and beat in the future. You know what I mean? That they've wrestled before, so. It is good. It's definitely good.
The other thing I think, and I've said this from the start, is that if you're a novice and you have a go on the pros, even when you've got no chance, because you put your elbow on the table, and because you put your elbow, but they'll watch it back, won't they?
That's it.
So I'm just trying to get the things. So if you put your elbow on the table as a novice, and it doesn't matter if you get smashed or you get schooled or whatever it is, but you're now a participant. You're not just some joker sitting at the side asking questions and being a nuisance. You're a participant. So when you see that pro later on, and I've seen you do it, Tom, and say, mate, you know what? If you just did this, if you thought about that, when you did that, that was good. But the value of that, but somebody who's just standing watching never gets any of that, even if they turn up just to watch. But the minute you're a participant, you're a competitor, the whole dynamic changed. I mean, I was in Strongman 24 years ago, and I was at the bottom of that as well. I wasn't very good, but I was on the circuit. And you get to speak to people, and suddenly you feel part of it. And even now, I meet up with people. Oh, bloody hell, I remember doing that. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean about the development as well. Like, these novices and amateurs are getting a better understanding from the pros and that. You know what I mean? So they can obviously copy what other people are doing, emulate it, and yeah, it's good, man.
So there's a question. There's a question here again, and he's saying. It's all right there. We'll be trying to be at Swindon. Will there be a novice there too? And Holly said, yes, novice can join Warzone. Yes, but will there also be a novice tournament too? I don't know. This is what I'm trying to think of now, is maybe we should just put it all into the Warzone, give the categories. So instead of turning up to, somebody's put here, Mr. Fantastic, double elimination builds character. Nothing better than travelling 8 hours to go out in 2 seconds. Well,
I travelled to Poland to go out a fucking double pin and out.
I travelled to Japan and did that.
That's
I went
what
to
I mean.
Japan and did that.
To be honest with you, like, for the novices, it might not put them off, you know what I mean? Because they still feel like they might hit constant pros all the time. Like, maybe separate the novices and say, like, the amateurs, because obviously there's sort of like an amateur level now, isn't there? Like, in the UK, like, people obviously.
The big thing is, though, you see, if I do that, then you pair are going to be standing around for ages and not getting a pull, and then having to go home early. Whereas if you can start this tournament, if we can start it at 12 and everybody's in it, by uppers 12, everybody's had one pull.
Can we starting these tournaments a little bit earlier? You know what I mean?
Well, it's the trouble. It's like this. You see, like on Saturday, I turned up there at 8 o'clock and I put the banners up. I moved the tables out the van. I set everything up, and then at 9:30, people was coming in from 9 o'clock, but I started weighing in sort of 9:15, and there was a constant stream of people all the way till 11:30. Then I've got 40, 30, 50 names to put in different places. I've got to make sure the referees do their turn up. Yeah. So if I started earlier, have I got referees? Because I mean, these tournaments I do, mostly I go up with the double elimination. I used to go up the night before. I still go up the night before a lot of the time. But if you do a weigh-in on the night before and 5 people turn up, and you've been there from 7:30 till 9 o'clock, is it worth it? You know what I mean? It's just it just seems crazy.
Yeah, it's true. That's what I mean. Like, it's just one of them, though. Like, obviously, if people because a lot of people went home and. Obviously, just because it got a little bit too late, you know what I mean? For some people. So it's like, obviously, just so they get an understanding of what you're doing, you know what I mean? For it to start at that time, like, it can't actually start any earlier unless more people want to help out, you know what I mean? If more people want to help out, then it could get started a bit earlier and finish a bit earlier. So,
but it's
even something like just getting 2 tables on would cut the time in half, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That's it, but then it comes down to the referees again, you know what I mean? So,
and you see, we on the calendar this year, I looked at it the other day of all the events that I know of and that are planned from when I did the Udazumo in January all the way up until December. There are 40 events on in the country. So, if traveling around doesn't have to be so much anymore. If you want to arm wrestle, there's something to do. And also, when I started this, Paul was doing. I took over from Paul. Paul was just doing the arm wrestling gods, as it was called then. The Tuts were doing their stuff, which was 2 or 3 events a year. And, Neil was doing his stuff, which he still does. But that's quite an exclusive elite thing, isn't it? It's for the likes of you, Pat, and other people from across the world. So there wasn't an awful lot of choice. Whereas now, there's something in every backyard, isn't there? So for there to be progression and it to be worth people coming. That's what I'm trying to do.
Definitely going in the right direction, mate. You know what I mean? But it's just for other people to understand why tournaments are running so late. It's just more helping hands are maybe, you know what I mean? And more people just helping out a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, I appreciated you, Per, helping. That really made a big difference.
That's it, mate.
Oh, always up for it, mate. Anytime. Next one, I probably won't even enter, mate. I'll probably just referee all day, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, first tournament I came to you as a referee. Do you remember?
Yeah.
The Iron Arm too, wasn't it?
Yeah, Crofters, weren't it?
Yeah.
So I actually like refereeing. I enjoyed that.
I do. I mean, I went to Stockholm in December, a week after the Nationals, and I went to the Nordic Open. I ended up doing some of the head ref on the. I mean, there was some real decent referees there, so I got a bit of training over the day. But I did some of the finals. I had a great time. You know, it is good. You know, it's nice to be right in the thick of it. You know.
So obviously, when you get a complaint, then that is not nice. But like I say, you just got to stick to your guns, in your referee's decisions final.
But there's always something there, you know.
Yeah, what about like pre-entries though, Dan? Like, say people obviously, you know, you're going to get some people say they're going to go and not turn up, but like if loads of people say that they're actually coming to the tournament and that, wouldn't it be a better way of?
You still got to weigh them in though, ain't you? Because and this is the thing, they turn up. If they paid the money online somehow, and I looked into that, but one of those little cash card thingies, they take a percentage every transaction, or they take a certain amount. Well, it don't take a lot to suddenly to lose quite a lot of money for the sake of convenience.
Yeah, that's
you know.
it.
So I've thought of that, you know, but I'm just not bright enough to make it work along with everything else I'm trying to do.
That's all a learning curve, isn't it, mate? And again, are you just thinking about like all these tournaments now? They're all going to be war zones. Are you still going to put on the occasional double elimination? Or
Well, I don't know. I'm in the thinking stage at the moment, but I'm just what I'm thinking is for the ease of administration and for giving people the most amount of chances to pull and for it being worthwhile.
Yeah,
a double elimination tournament between 6 or 7 people takes up an awful lot of time, and in that same time you can go through 3 rounds of the war zone with 20-30 people.
it's true, but then again, like but in another way, like if people are prepping for the Worlds, the Europeans or the British, and it is double elimination and they've never been in that situation before, you know what I mean, it may actually benefit, like maybe just put in like one competition that's like a double elimination, maybe before the Europeans, Worlds or British, you know what I mean, just for like a little bit of preparation, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I think the only difference with the double elimination and the war zone is, like, going into a double elimination, you know you've only got 2 chances. In the war zone, you might be a bit more relaxed because you know you've got like 10 chances and that. But then it's a good thing though, because you're getting the most of your money when you actually enter in, rather than going 2 and out. You get like
the thing which makes me think as well, and I believe this, but beforehand, but I actually saw it a lot more on Saturday, is that a couple of the people who are a bit nervous, they come in, they come from a club, their first couple of months, do you want to enter the war zone? What's it about? You tell them, and then it's, I'm not sure. Well, you can drop out at any point. And the first couple of pulls, you see they're nervous and anything. By the time you get to the 8th one, they're confident. They're taking a pin or 2. Now, it might take them a year of normal double elimination tournaments to get that thing, because they've had 8 starts with a referee.
That's why it's better preparation for like the novices and amateurs, you know what I mean? Like for them, like it's a dream. You know what I mean? Like if I had that around when I was a novice, man, I'd be loving it. But again, like you said, it's going to keep people in the sport a lot more. You know what I mean? Give people a chance to get stronger and build.
And I realise it doesn't suit everybody, and it can't suit everybody. But there are choices now. You know, it's not like I'm the only show in town.
No, that's it.
There's lots of supermatch leagues, and they give a lot of experience. I don't like them myself. I don't like doing supermatches myself because I like the randomness of the tournament. I like to turn up and think, Oh, who's in the room? Oh, I might be up against him today or him again. That suits me. But I know that there's a lot of people. But there's room for everything, isn't there?
Have you ever had a super match, Dan?
I've had a few, yeah. Yeah, I've had a few.
Yeah.
And they were good, but I didn't really feel that excited about doing them because I knew who I was going to be up against. So it's,
it's probably a bigger sense of achievement as well. Like if you win the war zone, sort of in the amount of pins you've actually had to get to win it. Yes.
Well, I got the most on Saturday. I had 7 pins, but better than that, I had a couple of good scraps with a good scrap with Jason, a good scrap with Ruben, and I got a pin. I got a pin on somebody I'd never got a pin on before, and a couple of people who smashed me didn't smash me as easy as they did before. So I could feel a bit of progression in my own thing.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean, the progression, like it's actually going to make people come on a bit, you know what I mean? The table experience and that, but it's definitely the right way to go, you know what I mean? I just think we just need at least one or two double elimination tournaments going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just so they understand like the setup as well. Because like I said, if they've never done it before and they've only done war zones and then they're thinking, oh fuck this, I want to enter the Europeans or Worlds. They're going to go there and just be in a little bit of deep water, you know what I mean?
What you find though, all these promotions that spring up, you rarely see them run a double elimination tournament because once they've done it once, they realise what a fucking nuisance it is, and they think it's easier to do super matches or something else. Yeah, and that's why there's so many super match leagues because it's easier to run. Hey,
that's because just everyone's lazy cunts, isn't they?
Yeah, well, it's
the extra work.
It's the easiest way to get a load of people annoyed with you is to try and run a tournament with any sort of coherence because it's hard work. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
So, what are you thinking numbers-wise for this next war zone? Do you think it's going to be more, roughly the same, or how many people got to you?
I never know how many people are coming because there's so many things going on. I mean, if it hammers down with rain and the weather's bad, it could spoil it all. But I mean, I think Swindon's going to be a lot more because you've got that M4 corridor, haven't you?
What, is it outside?
No, but it's the actual people. People are lazy, aren't they, when they journey?
Oh, mate. Nah, it's all fun and games, mate. The Warzone, I think, is obviously a good way to go.
Well, I like that because 2 weeks ago you were saying, "What the fuck's this?" And this is all crazy. What was that all about? No, but that's the thing, you know. Until you see it actually work and what it does, it just seems a load of chaos, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. It's just obviously it don't feel good for a pro. Like I say, you get Tom coming in, and there's not a lot of pros coming in. You know what I mean? And he's just clearing up. Obviously, for himself, for Tom feeling like that, he'll feel like shit. I shouldn't have entered today. You know what I mean?
But don't you feel like that anyway? If you go to a tournament, a double elimination tournament, and then you only get a good pull with somebody maybe in the semi-final or the final. How many tournaments have you gone to that you won, Tom, and you just went for everybody? Or I've seen it, a couple of people would just say, "Oh, don't hit me hard, Tom. I'll just go over with you," because they don't.
Yes, that's really annoying because I'd rather someone like if it's like Hamza when I pulled him on the left arm. Most people would sort of like saying, "Oh, go easy, go easy." He said to me, "Oh, do you mind if I hit?" I was like, "Do what you want, mate. Like, feel free." He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to go for it." I was like, "Go on in, love it." Right, I'm not rather that than someone say, "Oh yeah, just go easy on me."
The best experience I felt I ever had in arm wrestling, and which would broke my losing run for about 2 years. I went to the Irish Open in 2022, and I think I weighed about 99 kilo just a couple of weeks before that because I was still trying to get my weight back and I wasn't very well. And I spoke to Stanley, and Stanley said, "We've only got 3 in the super heavyweights. There's Kyle and Paul Maiden and Adrian O'Dwyer because he's a bit heavy at the moment. And no one else wants to go in it. And, you know, it's not going to be much of one with just 3. And I said, well, I'll go in it because I fancy having a go against them 3. And, you know, you're going to get smashed. No way about it. And I was. But I tell you what, because I went in it, 2 others went in it. So there were 6 of us. I went up against Adrian, and Adrian hit me and smashed my arm through the pad. And I thought my arm had just come off its socket, and it hurt. But because we did the pros first, and then we did the novices. When I went in the novice class, I had the best pull I'd ever had to that point because it woke the whole of my central nervous system up. Now, Stoica Bogdan did a video about this, and I watched this, and it made me realise what had happened because he said that sometimes that fast, real thing wakes your nervous system up. So the next pull I had after that smash was amazing. I had a 1:10 long match, and I won it. And that was the first win I'd had in ages and ages and ages. So, what do you get for trying? You get something, didn't you?
Exactly.
And if you don't experience that, I watch Adrian when he won the World Championships, and you watch some of these nasty pins he does, and you think, well, I know what that feels like.
Yeah.
But isn't that better than just saying, oh yeah, I bet I could beat him if only I could bother to turn up and train?
Yeah, definitely.
That's the thing. There's a lot of people that are like you, Dan. You said it was only Paul Maiden, Kyle Hutchison, and Adrian O'Dwyer, and no one else would enter until you did. It's like people are scared to lose against people who are better than them.
But because I went in, they thought, well, I can easily beat him. So suddenly you got 6. So Kyle winning, instead of Kyle winning against 2, he won against 5 others. So that makes his stock go up, didn't it? Yeah. And I believe in that as well. I think, we've got to support our champions. If a champion turns up at the tournament, don't change your weight class, go in it with them.
Yeah.
Because you're part of the story then, aren't you? And what can you learn by being part of it? You don't learn nothing by avoiding it.
Exactly that, mate.
100%. You're not going to.
And I realise this. It doesn't suit everybody. What I'm trying to do, but it's not like I say. I'm not the only show in town. There's other leagues and there's other places you can go and do other things with. And there's some people who just want to do suit matches forever. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's a chap. There's a chap I quite admire is over in Ireland, Ronnie Mostyn, and he's got 4 or 5 guys, and they have the table when they go out in the car park or in the tennis courts or out on the beach. And they have these super matches. Then it's a little league of their own. And if you live in somewhere remote and there's not much going on, well, rather than ringing around and say, "Oh, I wish there was something going on," they're out there doing something. Isn't that good? Yeah,
100%. So on Saturday, Dan, and who's the standouts for you? I do get to see a lot of improvement over the thing. So Anthony Sandel, I've stuck him up into the pro division. I've watched him for a year or so. He's one of Hightower's men. Yeah.
And he's done enough now to qualify into the pros. There's a few pro certificates. I'm trying to think off the top of my head who it was. But Dane Colvin's another one. Colvin, I took a couple of smashes off him now. He smashed me last year and I've improved. But I still got smashed hard off him. And I can see how he's really just getting into his own. Yeah. I'm excited. I think he's going to be a big danger to a lot of people in the next year or so.
No pun intended. Big danger.
Yeah. I wish I'd have thought of that as well. Yeah. So he was good. I was impressed. And of course, Ruben's coming on leaps and bounds. Mm-hmm. It's nice to see Josh Davis back.
It's fucking not, mate. Look at the state of him.
Hey, he give you a bit of trouble, didn't he, Jay?
It fucking just a bit, mate. He fucking weighs a ton. Nah, he's good. You know what I mean? Josh Davis, yeah, it's good that he's back. But that's what happens. He's built his own little family and that now, isn't it? You got to take some time out.
Yeah,
come back in fresh. Wants it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, a few of the Birmingham Bullets and that down there, that Hamza. Was it Irving's?
Irving's is another one. I've watched him in the last couple of months, and I've pushed him up into the pros now.
Mate, he's got a strong hand. He has. You know what I mean? So
he's a very reserved chap. He sort of said, "Oh, do you think I'm ready?" And he said to me back in the Irish Open. He cleaned up at the Irish Open in his weight class, and the novices there. But I said, Irving's, he says, "You're there. You're there."
Yeah, we were saying about how nervous he was and that. Then he goes in and does what he does. It's impressive.
That's
he's only young as well, isn't he?
Eh?
He's only young, isn't he? Looks pretty young.
He looks about 12 to me, but he is got a family and everything else. So he's.
Oh, is he?
I'm getting that. I think he's in his 20s, but I'm getting that age where everybody looks 12.
You're losing your sight.
Yeah, I've got the reading glasses now as well as the other glasses. Yeah.
So when's the next Udazumo?
I only do that once a year, and that's the first Sunday of January. It's the first Sunday after the New Year, as long as it's not the first. So
Right.
I never do it on the 1st of January. So the earliest it could be is the 2nd. I think it's the 5th next year. So
Right.
I do it there because there's nothing much else going on at the venue. It's only 1.5 miles or so from my house, so it's easy. And it's just a fun thing, you know. When you pair take over from me and everybody kicks me out, I shall just go to doing one event a year, and that'll be the Udazumo. That'll be the only one I run then. When somebody else takes over from all this shit and get sick of me. But I might have the beard as long as ZZ Top by then, you know.
That's it. So what else we got coming up then?
Well, obviously we're going to Carlingford, didn't we? You going to Carlingford, Jay?
Yeah, mate. I'm going to be there, pulling in the tournament. Looking forward to
what's happening with these flights.
Yeah, got the super matches as well to watch at night time. I could just chill.
Yeah.
Get involved in the crowd, you know what I mean? And hype everyone up.
Yeah, well, I'm part of the crew, so it's there's a lot of things going on, which is going to be good fun.
You doing the tournament, Dan?
Oh, I'll be in the tournament. Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
I was joking with Josh last night, and he's saying he's in the under 100s. I says, "You're never in the under 100s." I says, "Just eat more and stay up with me, like, you know." But he's insistent he's going to be in the under 100s.
That's it. He's got a fair bit of weight to lose, hasn't he?
But no, I don't intend to lose any weight. I'm like Tom. I try and put it on, but it don't seem to come on much, you know.
Yeah, I was chatting to Paul last. He rang me last week and was having a chat and that, and basically because I struggled to get up to 90 anyway. I'm just going to stay around 85 for a little while, and there's more opportunities at 85 for the next couple of years. So I'm just going to go for that for a little while.
Especially at the elite level, innit? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the reason I started putting on weight is because I felt like I'd come to a halt at lighter weight. Do you know what I mean? But I've never been 85 for a long time anyway. My sitting weight used to be like 82. Then I was climbing up weight, and then when I get so heavy, I'd get ill and then lose the weight again. And
obviously in Ireland now, there's a few people that have been injured and stuff, isn't there? So a few people have got a few different matches, isn't they? Like yourself.
Well, Bogdan's putting B&M now, isn't he?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
That's going to be interesting, that, because not seen Bogdan for a while. So he's been off the radar a bit. When they said about that, I think, wow, that's going to be quite a... Because, you might have seen him. I haven't seen him pull for ages. So...
yeah, he's always training, though, Bogdan, you know what I mean?
He's very thoughtful as well. You know, he thinks through what he's doing, doesn't he? So he's...
But BLM, man, he's a tricky character.
I think you think BLM's going to do it, don't you?
Who?
Do you think your BLM will beat him?
Personally, I think it's going to be it's a championship match as well. So 7 rounds, isn't it? So I think it's going to be a 4-3 or a 5-2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To BLM, just because of the style, just because obviously Bogdan's our boy and that, you know what I mean? And I want him to win. But I just think obviously what Bowen cracked his wrist, unless he's been working on that, that's the same sort of style BLM's got, you know what I mean?
I think he's been non-stop working on that since that day.
Yeah.
You know
it.
That was bad.
Yeah, I still think that's an interesting match. I hope Bogdan wins it, but I've got a feeling that bloody BLM's going to do it. But
I think Adrian was lined up to beat him. I think Adrian would have beat him.
Yeah, because of styles.
Yeah, just 100%. a bad style for BLM.
He got a bad injury, didn't he? Or did he tear his bicep or something?
He was carrying a washing machine up the stairs for somebody for a restaurant as a favour, and he ripped his bicep doing that. So
it's always the way, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think Bogdan's got the right tools to beat him, though.
He definitely has, 100%. You know what I mean? It's just whether he lets the moment get too much for him. So
Bogdan needs momentum behind him.
Yeah.
Just judging by the Bowen match, Because you don't see Bogdan lose too much, do you?
Nah, that's it. But the Bowen match, man, he got him psychologically as well.
And it's pressure as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. It was like pressure for him, you know what I mean? It's like people fighting the old Jake Paul, innit? Like, shit, boy, I've got to beat Bowen. I've got to be the first one to beat Bowen. And then he just put too much pressure on himself.
I think BLM's hand's takeable for Bogdan.
What, in the top roll?
I think so.
I've never pulled him, but I've seen the speed that he generates, and he can really go, can't he? Off that go.
Yeah, grip BLM inside. If Bogdan tries pressing BLM, he might be in a bit of trouble.
Right.
I think BLM likes, look how he was doing with James Wall. Like James Wall's really struggling to access any sort of inside power, and James is good at securing that inside as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Elliot couldn't get nowhere near his inside. BLM's specialising against pressers, sort of thing, like the best in it. But I think taking his hands away forward with BLM.
That's it. Obviously, you've got Oleg now, ain't you? Oleg
Turin, yeah. That's been.
Well, I've got a challenge for you, Tom. The minute I saw that match, because Oleg is one of the dourest people I've ever met, and
he's one of the what?
Dourest. You know, he seems grumpy all the time. So if you can make him laugh during the match, Tom, I'll give you 50 quid.
Go on,
win or lose, but you've got to make him laugh.
Go on, you're on.
How's that sound for a bet?
I'm up for that.
But if you can't make him laugh, you've got to give me 50.
Fuck's sake. Sounds good.
Taking it? I mean, you can wear clown shoes, whatever you want.
Go, I'll take that bet. Fuck it.
You're on.
Fuck it. It'll be hard, but you laugh.
What, for the whole match, not after the match? It's got to be in the match.
It's any time from when he walks in to when the referee calls the final pin. That's the duration of the match to me.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Right.
Sound good? So once they've shouted winner, it doesn't matter after that, because if he's the winner, he'll smile then.
He's from Moldova, isn't he? You just got to learn
it's during the match. You've got to make him smile at some point during the match.
Right, I'm on that. I'll do that.
Good stuff.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Learn some good swear words in Moldovan, mate.
Yeah, you know. Moldovan to him.
At the Irish Open, he didn't turn up in time for the weigh-in, and we kept the weigh-in open because he said he was on his way. And then Adam Johnson and I were sitting there, and we were both getting pissed off, and we want to start this damn thing going. So at a certain point, I said, right, that's it. Fuck it, he's in the super heavyweights now. Forgetting, of course, in that moment that I'm in the super heavyweights. So I managed to put him into the same class with me, and I had to pull him then, didn't I? What a great time that was. If I'd have had a bit of sense and a bit of thought, I might have thought, oh, well, yeah, I'll give him a bit. But, you've got to be fair. And he didn't turn up in time. So I thought, well, that's it. Weigh-in's closed. Oh, yeah, he's in the super heavyweights. What a good idea it was. But you know what? I got to pull Oleg. So I'm one of the last people to pull Oleg, Tom. Do you want some advice?
Yeah.
Yeah, try and make him laugh.
If I make him laugh, I could bribe him 50 quid.
Yeah, there you go. So, obviously, you're looking forward to the Stoico and Tom match, but come on, Jace, who else are you looking at on the card? Who else are you thinking about?
Mate, it's a stacked card, though, isn't it? Like, I think the Bowen-Ron Bath match, I think, obviously, Ron's like, he's a legend, you know what I mean? But I think Bowen might be too much for him, so not too invested in that, you know what I mean?
Or me.
BLM Bogdan, definitely. I've never seen like Lee Webber's match with what's his name? The Canadian geezer. I think that's going to be a good match because
is that tall chap, the Richard?
Yeah, Richard. That's it. He's rowdy as well, man. He's an entertainer, so I think that'll be a good match. You know what I mean? I think that'll be a proper tear up. Who else is there? We got Bresnan match.
You got RVJ.
RVJ, yeah. RVJ James Wall. That's what I mean. That's, again, I honestly think that match could go either way. You know what I mean? If
whoever lands there.
that's what I mean. If James can get him inside, mate, well, fucking hell, I think power.
What's nice about that is, of course, they've never pulled, and I don't think they've got a common opponent either.
No, that's it.
So it really is just a case of where are you? Where are you?
I don't think RBJ is going to take him easy, though. You know what I mean? I don't think RBJ thinks he's going to walk straight over him. You know what I mean? So
I was speaking to RBJ in New Jersey. He knows what he's about.
yeah,
How good he is, and that. Yeah, he's training
Tom
hard.
giving him some pointers and that. Yeah.
No, I don't
Against your fellow countrymen, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I feel like even if it, like, I try not to do that stuff. I try not to get involved with like big matches like that, unless it's my teammate. Then obviously I'm not going to do it. But like you said, because they ain't got no common opponents and that, their styles are completely different. RVJ's still got a hook, but RVJ's got a big hand as well. Like I felt James on the side table, and that his access to getting to the hook is really good, and his hand's got a lot better. But what's he going to be like with a bigger hand like RVJ's?
That's what I'm saying. RVJ's hand's hench, mate. You know what I mean? So
the thing is, all these things though, it's a bit like the old Wild West, isn't it? They say ready go, and sometimes you're daydreaming, and sometimes you've had a bad night's sleep or a bad journey, or you're just thinking about something else, and all of a sudden, it's not going your way, and it can happen to anybody. So
yeah,
nothing's ever certain. Nothing's ever certain.
Oh, you got Patterson and Stacken.
Darrell, yeah, bloody hell, I'm looking forward to that match, man. Because it looks like Darrell's been training hard as well. You know what I mean? Was
Darrell the one that Connor was against?
No, it was one I was against, man. I went 2-0 up and he fucking come back and beat me.
Oh yeah, that's it, yeah.
You know what I mean? He's a good wrestler, man. He's clever. I wouldn't say he's the strongest, but again, he's obviously seems to be like working on that quite a bit. So again, that could be a real interesting match. But the way Patterson come in at fucking British, man, Geezer's solid. Yeah. You know, especially on the left arm, Geezer's a beast.
I saw him at the. I got it of him a couple of times at Motherwell last year on the Warzone, and I mean, I took a few beatings off him. Yeah, I've got quite a good resume of taking arse kickings off most of the UK arm wrestlers.
Mate, but this card though, like, to be fair, if you're not buying this card, mate, you're missing out. You know what I mean? Because
I bought it because I'm there.
No, that's it. But the people that are not there, you know what I mean? Or even if you are there, if you're not buying a ticket to the actual event, then you're missing out, man. Because it's like literally a fucking. You never know when you see these sort of matches again. You know, you need to make the most of the opportunity.
Hello, Roy. Roy just said hello. Everybody always tells Roy to shut up, so we'll say hello to Roy. Hello, Roy.
How's it going, Roy? Yeah, man.
I think the match I'm really looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing Tim Bresnan. I've never met. I'd like to meet, and RBJ I've met once. But I when Paul had Hector Morris at his gym, I pulled with him. I got on very well with him. But him and James Stewart, that's the match that excites me the most out of all of them. Because I do like James Stewart a lot, and but I think I like the fact that you've got the Scottish champion and the New Zealand champion, and they're meeting in Ireland, and they're both either ends of the pipe. We're on the edge of Europe, New Zealand's right on the edge of the Pacific that way. So that's just such a meeting of different worlds, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. So is it Hector Morris versus
James Stewart?
James Stewart, yeah. That's what I mean, man. That's going to be a good match.
I think
sort of like high risers, isn't they?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll probably give James the edge on that.
Yeah, same. But again, was you Arm Wars when Hector Morris was there?
Yeah.
I wasn't there, but a couple of days after he was in Paul's gym. And I
know you fucking weren't there, Dad. I was talking to fucking Tom.
Oh, yeah. I'm not on the list.
Did you get to pull him, Tom?
Nah. Obviously, I gripped up with him a little bit outside and that, but not on the table or anything.
I did. I pulled with him in the practice table and that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Was it? 'Cause he sort of like when I've seen him wrestle, he sort of dunks his body back quite a bit and like obviously posts. You know what I mean? But...
It's. I mean, obviously they're both much higher level than me. And James is my friend, but I do feel that from what I felt at the different times I've gripped up, I did think that James was a much higher level of strength.
Yeah.
I've seen, I mean, after the Motherwell Warzone last year, I saw James pick up the 78 kilo fat dumbbell and the 71 kilo and walk around the gym with them like there was a pair of shopping bags. And that was impressive. After he won 15 matches, both arms against everybody, didn't have a loss, and then picked them up and just walk around the gym with them. So he's got some serious top end strength there. You know,
that's it. And what is that right arm match? Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
Because he obviously pulled pork chop in Canada on left arm, didn't he?
That was a hell of a match to watch.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what I mean. So, and then obviously you got Mindaugas. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's a nice
it's
matchup,
a good,
isn't it?
It's a good matchup for Mindaugas as well, because obviously, thingy, fucking what's his name, Bresnan. He's putting Bresnan, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like that's a fucking hell of experience for him.
Well, what's it like to be Mindaugas, who's won so many things domestically, and he's had a match with Devon Larratt, and he's had a match. Yeah. He travels a lot, doesn't he? But you know, he's going to have one with Tim Bay. I mean, that's really just cements who he is, isn't it?
Exactly that. It's going to be a hell of experience for him.
The thing with that match, the only way I can compare it is Mindaugas has pulled Sandris.
Yeah.
And inside.
Can't be doing that shit, Tom.
Huh?
You can't start doing the triangle shit, bro. It never works out.
Nah, rock, paper, scissors, isn't
it? Yeah, that's it. Well, he beat him and he beat him, but he didn't beat him.
Like nothing. Matt Mask like nothing. Then Matt Mask had a battle with Bresnan.
Yeah, true.
Like you said, you can't do the triangle shit, but
and one bad night's sleep. You know, if one of them accidentally gets to share the room with Josh Davis or next door to
Tom Holland,
you know, or me snoring, you know, you're in trouble, aren't you?
Yeah, you stick you, Tom, and Mindaugas in the same fucking room.
I shared with Rob Frampton last year because everyone said, "Oh, Rob Frampton snores." And I never noticed it, but I snore a lot as well. I think I had the best roommates in Carlingford. It was me, Pascal Girard, and Rob Frampton. I mean, what a team!
Decent.
You know.
Hey, Dan, when we was in Iron House 1, I got put in with Adam Johnson, and Adam apologised to me straight away. He's like, "Tom, I'm really sorry, mate, but you're probably not going to get a good night's sleep because I snore quite a bit." I was like, "Yeah, that's all right. I do too, mate. It's all right. I'll sleep through it." Both went to bed, slept. I woke up, fucking bright sunshine. I'm like, yeah, I had a lovely sleep. Adam's there, wide awake. You're right, Adam. He's like, no, I ain't slept. So why? He's like, I've literally not slept all night because you're fucking snoring. Oh shit! He fucking checked out, got a hotel next night.
I've with work and all sorts of things, I've shared rooms with people. I was on this road trip doing something with these other three chaps, and we stopped in this motel in France. It was just like a tiny room with 4 single beds in. And one of the chaps says, "Anybody snore?" I says, "Me." I says, "Now," I says, "Listen," I says, "if I should be snoring in the middle of the night," I says, "don't wake me up to tell me." I says, there's no sense me losing sleep over it as well as you.
That's it, mate.
Exactly.
I'm looking forward to Ireland, man. It should be good.
Yeah. When you're flying over the Thursday or the Friday, or when you're going?
I think the Friday. Still waiting. I
don't know if the flights are booked yet.
I'm going Thursday. And I'm coming back Sunday. That's good. I've sorted my own out there.
It'd be Thursday evening or Friday morning, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
So the weigh-ins and that.
I think some of the Canadians are going in week before, aren't they?
Are they?
I think they're getting. I think I've heard some of them saying they're going the weekend before, so St. Patrick's Day. So they're going to get pissed up from the Saturday to the Sunday all the way through.
Why not, mate? Most.
Jay's got a few stories about Canadians, isn't you?
Who?
You.
Nah.
Why don't you share one of the stories?
Come on, Jay. Or Tom will tell it for you.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
One out.
Great Dane's in the chat.
Hey?
Just see Great Dane's name pop up.
Yeah, we was talking about you earlier, Great Dane.
Oh.
Good prospect he is. Tell you.
Yes, he's looking strong. He looks a lot bigger than last time as well. Last time I see him, he pulled Greg Foster in Paul's little war zone that he done.
Yeah, you got
Beating Foster.
He's just getting sharper and sharper. And I mean, if you're training with James Wall or any of the big ones, you're going to get better, aren't you?
Yeah, 100%.
You're diligent.
Especially if you want it as well, you know what I mean? You're putting in the time and effort.
Yeah, Jay, I think he wants it. Not like you on Saturday. He wants it.
Yeah. I don't want
that video.
You didn't want it, did you?
Hey?
He don't want none of it, Irving. He fucking wants all of it.
Oh.
That's funny. Probably cut this off in a minute because of
Well, you've got to go to bed and feed your dog and have a cocoa, haven't you?
Yeah, 2 cocos.
What's going on in the chat, bro? You ain't even fucking read no comments or nothing.
It's got to have been listening to you two.
You should have been.
Yeah, all the comments are well back. We're not going back through all them. I've been highlighting a few comments.
Yeah.
That'll do.
Yeah, that's right. Don't read them later, can they?
Who was your standout pillars, Tom, on the weekend?
Do what? Stand out.
Me. He thought I was the best he'd seen.
You impressed me, to be honest, Dan. Like some of the matches you got into as well were pretty good. Obviously, who was that guy in the black shirt?
All of them.
Bit of a tan, longish dark hair, quite tall, skinny.
Camille Noaz.
Yeah, he's pretty good, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
Fucking hell. They come up to, you said like some of them, and obviously some of them were pros, some of them just started. So now and then I'm asking a few people when they come up to the table. Like,
I think Camille's from Milton Keynes. Milton Keynes seemed to have quite a good, strong team there. I hadn't seen them for a while to the Nationals. And there was Chris Lewis as well. He's solid, he is. I mean, he gave me a good smash at the Nationals as well as there. Bloody hell. He's very... Is that quick off the go, you know.
Who's that? From Chesterfield Bad Boy. He had to go home, so he done something to his arm.
No, was it Darren Waring?
Yeah, mate, he was impressive. He was in a few bloody battles, man. Pulled it a few times, didn't he? Like,
yeah, I pinned him. That's the first time I've ever pinned him, but I don't think he was feeling that well. So he'd had a bit of a, I'm not going to say that was a remarkable thing from me because I don't think he was on his best form. But he smashed me before quite a few times. But I had a good old match with him.
At the beginning, be getting off the table. You know what I mean? He just seemed to get the match and then going on to the next table over the other side.
Yeah.
Perfect.
The thing I liked about the refereeing as well is you get to see all the wrestlers like what they're doing, like if they're doing the same move and that. And there's a few like semi-level guys that are you think they're going to do the same thing all the way through, but every single match they have against different people, they're changing it up.
Yeah, like Slim. Slim
from Slim Rock Armwrestling.
I've pushed him up into the pros now as well. He's done enough to qualify, so he's in the pro division now.
Yeah.
And his mate as well. That's the other you said about Luke Guadani. He was very good. He's making some very good progress. I'm impressed with him.
Yeah, man.
So there's a lot of new guys now that are coming into it with like a pretty good understanding of what it's about.
Yeah,
like,
that's
first competition and that, not much training, but they still like half know what they're like the basic, like they half know the basics of it.
Yeah, but like you said, they're coming up to the table and not doing the same thing against like different people. They're doing something different when they're feeling something a little bit.
Yeah, and like you said as well, if he was in the tournament, they probably wouldn't be brave enough to try different things like that.
Exactly.
You'd be just trying your A move all the time because you've only got 2 chances.
Yeah.
But you've got multiple chances and that you're having more fun and that you're going to be trying different things, and then you never know. Might be something different that works for you better.
Fucking quite big now, aren't they? Like your Birmingham Bullets, your Milton Keynes. Swindon is another one, man. every time I go Swindon training, there's a good 25, 30 people. You know what I mean? It's like, it's one of them. The clubs are getting massive now, so these people are going to be making improvements quicker and start standing out a bit more.
Yeah, that's it. I think Dan's crashed.
No, I'm not. I was just thinking.
Oh, right.
I haven't crashed. I was just thinking, listening to what you're saying.
Yeah, it's true though. Another one is that Hamza, like you said, Tom, he's fucking.
First time I saw him about 6 or 8 months ago, and he was sharp then, but he's much that in that 8 months I've gripped up with him again on the weekend, and he was, much stronger, faster than he was, and he was good 8 months or so ago when I pulled with him. So yeah, very impressive.
I mean, like the Birmingham team, they've got a good, rounded team now as well, covering all classes. You know what I mean? So the improvements.
I think now that team versus team is going to be a bit quite interesting because the clubs are growing now.
Biswa Mavuri's another one, the Indian lad from Birmingham.
Yeah,
he's got some real quick reflex and some very strong slow strength as well. I noticed that. I've gripped up with him a few times. I grabbed hold of his thumb, JC. He had a motorcycle accident some years ago, and I thought I'd pulled his thumb out of his socket, but he's got his thumb knuckles about an inch longer on one hand than the other. And of course, I grabbed him and it clicked. I thought, oh, bloody hell. But he said, no, it's always like that. But it looks like Jimi Hendrix fingers, like from the guitarist. Do you remember he had long fingers?
A few things coming up as well. Is obviously the British sit downs is coming up in May, isn't it?
Yeah. Paul's got a thing the day after that as well. Up in Manchester, the same. That's the 18th, and Paul's one is the 19th. Yeah, I mean the Euros is in June. I mean that's a way away, but that's something to think about as well.
Like you said as well, Tom, man, what Daft's doing as well, where it's like the team versus team at the grip fests and stuff. I think that's going to start taking off because, as I said, like the teams are getting bigger. You only allow a certain amount of players in the team. You're going to pick for 10 or it is, isn't you? So I think that's going to be interesting, like the team thing.
So that must be in weight classes as well.
It should. I don't know.
I don't know how he's doing it, but I mean, it's again, it's just another. It's an interesting thing to do, and it's not the same old.
Isn't it?
It's like a war zone thing as well, isn't it? Like where the winner stays on, isn't it?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so. From what I see in where was it? The Grip Fest in Oxford. It was Wales versus Sussex, wasn't it? Sort of thing. But that does make sense what you said, Tom. Like if they had somebody in every weight category, then obviously it's a well-rounded team. Then you know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's some teams like Chesterfield used to be known for it, sort of thing. They never had no lightweights. They was all just bloody heavyweights, like super heavyweights. You know what I mean? Like massive guys. And you probably get some teams that majority of them are lighter, so you've only got a certain amount of teams you can put each other against, unless you do it weight class.
There's a lot of new teams springing up. I mean, there's a couple of chaps come from Worcester, which is a new club that's formed. There's a new one from Scotland after the Nationals. I mean, on the club page when I first took over, we put a few together, and I mean, Slough's not. Your club's not listed because you've never sent any contact details over, but and a logo. But if you say, I always say, if you want people to contact you, send me a logo and a contact number, and I'll put it on the page. I think there's 31 clubs listed on the page, but there's a load more that have never. There's some that say they don't want to tell everybody where they are; they just want to get on with what they're doing. That's fair enough.
I'm not gonna lie, mate. I've trained with the club about 8 times in the last year and a half. Like literally, I just rarely get down there now.
Yeah,
very rarely. It's it's just a lot of the trainers at home, to be honest. Just because the time it starts now, it starts at 4 o'clock, and it used to start at 6:30 till 9, but now it's 4 till 6, and a lot of the time I can't get there in time from work.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's got to suit you, isn't it?
Yeah, just do training at home instead.
Yeah. At least circuit. And getting bigger.
What's that?
I've got to plug the battery in, otherwise it's going to die.
Yeah, we're probably going to shoot off now, Dan. Anyway, mate.
All right.
Good to catch you, Dan.
Thanks for having me on. Thanks for your help for the weekend, lads.
Anytime, mate.
And thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you all next Tuesday.
Catch you in a bit.
See you later. Cheers, Dan.
Cheers.
Bye, mate. Bye.